Hey Chris, welcome to the MasterCard Cup. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your dress position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, let's first of all just take a look at your posture. Now your spine's nice and straight and on a good tilt. Your legs come down, maybe bent a little too much. And then your arms hang down out in front of you and the club works out to the ball. So you're achieving really good posture in association with good balance. I probably just want you to stand up a little taller in your legs there if we're going to be working on your golf game. Your alignment also looks really good here, so let's go ahead and just do a little split screen comparison between you and Jordan Spieth. We'll flip them over to left-handed. As we initiate our takeaway, we want to create good shoulder rotation, bring the arms and hands back as well as the club. Want to see the club coming back along the red line on plane. Also in the early stages of the golf swing, we want to create some good wrist hinge into play where we're going to transition the club head from currently being below and in front of our hands to getting that club head above and behind our hands. From here we're going to work the club from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we want to have the right arm in the golf club situated either on the yellow line, anywhere in between the blue-yellow V zone, or physically up on blue as we see with Jordan Spieth. We also want to have full shoulder rotation. We want to do this about a very stable left leg and create this rotational movement on the posture spinal axis we created at address. Let's go ahead and watch you initiate your takeaway here. So you draw your hands back. Sort of looks like you turn your right hand underneath the club, closing the club face. So a little bit handsy out of the gate here. And obviously getting that club face definitely closed. So we definitely want to learn how to bring the golf club back maybe with a little bit more arm extension and rotation. Reduce the hand activity. Definitely still want to create wrist hinge into play, but not that early. And definitely don't want to turn your hands in the wrong formation where it's closing the club face. Like your club face right now, if I draw a line on the leading edge of your club, it's here. I mean your club face is basically pointing straight down into the ground, and that's going to maybe have a major influence on what happens at impact here. So anyways, as we keep on coming back, everything else is in reasonably good position here. Work that club to the top. When you finally get to the top of your backswing, you're in excellent position. I mean, you got great rotation. Arms are in good geometry relative to your core. Pretty stable left side, even though again you're still sort of bent in that left side a bit and sitting. Backswing's a bit abbreviated. The arms could probably travel a little bit further. The club could travel a little bit further as well, obviously, if there's more arm movement. But also if you create a proper wrist hinge, the club's going to travel a little bit more as well. That club face is really, really closed. So I don't know if at address, if it was closed to begin with and it's not resting on its back sole, or I don't know if you have a strong grip with either your right or left hand. I'm not talking about pressure, I'm talking about positioning. Strong would mean that your right hand's rotated too far over top of the club to the left, and or your right hand's rotated underneath the club, meaning your left hand's rotated also underneath to the left. So one of those hands could be too strong. But I know out of the gate for sure, you definitely, you can't really tell if that club face is closed. It doesn't look too closed there. But you really pop your right hand underneath and shut the face. And keep that left hand on top. So definitely have to take a look at your grip. Definitely have to get you to understand how to bring this golf club back with better arm extension and rotation as opposed to this handsy little move here, which is shutting the face of the golf club. Because now you're at the top and you're in pretty good position again, even though it is a bit abbreviated. But that club face is so closed that it's very likely this club face is going to be very closed at impact as well. So let's go ahead and watch our transition back into the ball with Jordan Spieth. Want to move our weight from our left foot to our right, fire the knees and the hips laterally to the target, unwind the core, fire the hands. In doing so, we want to bring the golf club from wherever we set it in that blue-yellow V zone and bring that golf club back down onto red, which is where the club originated. And that's exactly what we see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club is returning back to being on plane. The other thing we want to observe at this stage of the golf swing is a relationship between the lead form and the club. Refer to this as a check mark position. Coming into the ball simply means the club head is remaining above and behind our hands coming into the hitting zone. This is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in our golf swing, let alone also his ability to hit the ball straight due to the fact the club has returned back to plane, which is a main criteria in producing straight golf shots. Let's watch you create your transition and ball. Excellent drop into your hands and arms. I mean, you're in perfect position here. So this is really good. At this point in time, I mean, we've got your lead forearm, we've got your club. So there's your backwards check mark. The other great thing is that the golf club has, I'm going to slide you over here. The other thing is that the club has returned back to plane, exactly like what we see with Jordan Spieth. So this is fantastic. But because you set your backswing a bit abbreviated and shallow, what ends up happening as you continue to come into the ball, because you had a shallow set position, if you got your right arm and your club a little bit more up on the yellow line right here, see where we are here? Let me just try and set that. Sorry, it's a little tough, a little finicky right there. Whereas with Jordan, right, he sets his arms a little steeper. So he gets as steep as we would like to be with the right arm on the blue line. You don't even get your right arm to the yellow line. So that's what I mean by you're set shallow. So you both let the golf club fall back onto the red line, but because he's coming from a steeper position and you're coming from a more shallow position, sorry, your swing here is just moving too quick. Okay, we both get to this position, but because yours is more shallow, watch where your club goes in the next frame. It comes underneath the plane. So see that? So your club comes underneath the plane, attacks the ball from underneath, whereas his club attacks the ball directly from on plane. So again, like I said, this is what produces perfectly straight golf shots in accordance to our alignment. Lastly, assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. Because your club is coming into the ball too far from underneath, the main miss would be a block because it's come too far inside. So if we don't square the face up, we end up blocking the ball a little bit out to the left somewhere, and the ball doesn't find our intended target here. Okay? But I'd already stipulated that during your backswing and your entire backswing, your club face was very, very closed. So let's clear this stuff off the screen. We know you're coming from the inside. We know your possible miss now based on your alignment, which is good, and your downswing plane, which is inside, which produces blocks if we don't square the face up. Let's take a look and see what the club face does. And go figure, club face is closed at impact due to the closing of the face as soon as you initiated your backswing. So we hit the ball, club face is closed, and look at the ball goes low. It's at the end of this arrow right here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to track it any further other than that. Yeah, I can still see it. Yeah, it's hooking. So you've imparted left to right spin. So it's leaving low because the club face is closed, which is de-lofting the club. We don't get enough launch angle. And because the club face is closing too aggressively, it's imparting left to right spin. And that ball is going to continue to draw away to the right as you come through to your finish there. Okay? Overall, I mean, some good athletic qualities here. Your hands work well, come back, fire through. You coil, you uncoil. You got decent enough footwork that allows you to get through to a finish. The alignment's good. Starting posture, balance is good. Backswing looks great. Obviously, might want to get a little bit more upright, but that's really not a major issue. Your club falls down on plane and slightly underneath the plane. That's not really that big of a deal either, other than the fact that if the club face doesn't square up, you may block the ball left. But you got this funky little thing going on with the club face as soon as it comes back that's shutting the face. So I have to take a look at your grip. And then if your grip's good, I have to take a look at what you're doing with your hands, wrists, and forearms as you're initiating this takeaway right here, which is shutting the face. And ultimately, that's what we got to find out. We got to find out why that club face is closing. Is it due to the grip? Is it due to an indifferent kind of wrist hinge? What is it? So that when we come back to the ball, we can get the club face square. And when the club face is more square, based on your good alignment and your pretty decent downswing plane, you should be able to hit some pretty good quality golf shots. And the reality is I can get you on perfect plane coming into the ball if we just set your arms a little steeper at the top of your backswing. So if we get you a little steeper, club's automatically going to just track into the ball directly from on plane. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So we have good aim, good downswing plane, but the issue is the third aspect, the grip. Or the club face, really. It's the club face. I don't know it's really your grip yet because I can't see it from face on. And from this vantage point, it appears pretty decent. So it must be in your wrist hinge. Okay? Anyways, I hope you had a fabulous day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. If at any point in time you ever want to work on any of these aspects, I'm located over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. I'll be happy to structure a little program for you. And also, if you guys are involved with any golf tournaments and looking to provide your guests with a unique gift, feel free to touch base. Be happy to discuss my swing analysis services. Okay? Anyways, take care and enjoy the rest of the fall. Okay? Take care.